short, I was giving them the heads up, which was like in so many ways. Oh my god! It hasn't been on this whole entire time. Oh,
I'm glad I looked.
dang.
Because it happened to me once when I was doing my videos.
I wonder how it sounds now.
Let's go.
Fuck.
That
All right.
words.
Hey everybody!
Sunbornani. Thank you for being part of our family.
And welcome to the Lock Fam Diary.
Hey, welcome everybody.
Today's topic is going to be about
communication. How to communicate effectively with your partner. Okay, so the first point is conflict resolution without drama. So we're going to be talking about how to communicate with your partner in a space of like you guys are having a disagreement, but don't include drama and don't include disrespect. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, you go ahead.
So number one, don't disrespect, all right?
What would you say if someone could ask you, like, how can I have such a conversation with my wife or my partner without me having to fight with her all the time? How would you tell your friend?
All right. I had a scenario with an associate who informed me of the situation, household, and it was basically, oh man, here we go, guys.
Drink some tea.
I was like, dang, man, do I feel like explaining all that? Okay. All right, here we go. All right, first and foremost,
here we go.
He was expressing something that had happened with a scenario about something. And lady was like, in so many ways, she didn't want to talk about it. Never mind, you made your mind, whatever it may be. It's kind of like that, right? And so what I was telling him was that a different scenario to go about it was practicing listening. And then after listening, taking consideration of repeating back what you got from what she had said, you know?
Yeah.
It is a different position to put yourself in as, like, you know, just for males and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to hear nobody just chatterboxing and all that stuff, right? Obviously, no. But you are who you pick, too. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. You're a ratchet girl, you know, there's some things
that's
in you that's ratchet right now, and you just not paying attention to the qualities of a woman that you need to be aware of, right? And so, but long story short, I was giving them the heads up, which was like in so many ways. Oh my god! It hasn't been on this whole entire time. Oh,
I'm glad I looked.
Dang.
Because it happened to me once when I was doing my videos.
I wonder how it sounds now.
Let's go.
Fuck.
That words.
Anyways, so yeah. Long story short, man. I just told him basically in so many ways, be able to listen, be able to reiterate what your lady said to you, and then when you go off of that, try to find common ground. I know this is kind of like some advice depending on the scenario, because all I can think about in my head is like, what if you just got one that's like super, you know, itchy with the B word in front of it, right? And there's nothing you could do with that one at that point. It's nothing you could do outside of create space between each other. But I would say that's what I would go for first if you wanted to
just listen,
be ahead of the game and not get to a certain point of argument, which is listening. And if the argument has already started, but y'all not in the yelling phase, take accountability for your own actions. And easier said than done. For some conversations we had in the past, I had to take a breather, and then afterwards I had to, just acknowledge, like, I apologize for X, Y, and Z, and I'll just take full accountability of that.
Now that I'm looking at it, I feel like you were taking more of a blame because I wouldn't back down in terms of like, oh yeah, I was wrong doing this.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you were like, okay, it's fine, I'm just gonna apologize. And then the next day you will say, you will remind me of the quote where it's either you want to be happy or, what would you say? You want to be happy or, I forgot. When we remember, we can put it on the screen.
Yeah. A lot of times that's what it is, and like she just acknowledged that. Which in the long run, if you got a good lady by your side, she can also take in consideration of her actions as well. And it's just not you always taking the fault, because it's not a good feeling. But at the same time, you are being a leader, because a leader is not going to necessarily, even if he's leading 100 men, he's not going to be necessarily trying to tell you what you're doing, this, that, and the third, right? He's going to show you by example. And a lot of the times it takes big boy pants to say I did this wrong, and to leave it at that until
be the wrong person.
And be the wrong person, right? Because obviously you're going to be trying to get your point across to somebody who's not open to receive what the fuck you're talking about at that point. Right? And that's going to be the headache. That's going to be the escalation of, you're not understanding me. You're not understanding me. You're not getting what I'm saying. You're not listening. Right? And so that I've learned, it's not where it's at. It's not where it's at. Even though it seems logical to go that route, because all you're trying to do is get your point across, and all you're trying to do is see if the person is understanding what your point is. Right?
Yeah.
And so, that's what I believe is the antidote to trying to nip it in the bud, and also killing the energy. Right? What about you?
I would say mostly respect. I know I've seen a video going around, people talking about how most of the ladies don't respect their man, which I don't think that's true. I think it's just a matter of how communication is, because sometimes, mostly, ladies will not say anything until the peak of like, now I'm gonna say everything, and I'm gonna say everything in a way that I take it out of my chest, but nobody's gonna understand you, and nobody's gonna hear you if you're being loud. Nobody's gonna hear you if you are screaming at a man who's not even saying nothing to you, right? Who's not even trying to, scream at you back. So, I mean, of course they're gonna say it's your fault. Maybe you have been just like looking at him and he's been doing all these things, and they have just been like, you've been building stuff up inside you. That's why communication is more important, because if you don't communicate, you're building stuff in you, and when you explode, and nobody can pull you back, and no one can say nothing to you, right? So I think it's best you start with the communication. In each and everything that comes in your mind, you speak it out with respect, calmly, and focus. Don't just speak things out and
don't just blab it out of your mouth.
Right. Right. Have a time where you're like, I think this is a time to say this. I'm gonna say it, right?
Or find create the space.
Yes. Find the space and time to say it, like in a nice way, in a communicative way. Because if you're coming at a man with force, he's not gonna agree on anything that you're saying, even though you're right. And that's going to piss you off, and that's going to also make you frustrated, because he's going to be like, I don't want you being mad at me, and I don't want you breaking up, and he's trying to protect your heart and all that. I feel like if you say things more calm and focused, man is able to communicate. Man will be able to communicate with us easily if you don't wait until the end of the line, until the pot is red, until everything is boiling out and you are just going crazy. I feel like respect is more important when it comes to, because you're not just respecting him, but you're respecting yourself too. People are not just looking at you. You're out here all screaming and blabbing and doing all crazy stuff, because people are going to see you as you not respecting yourself, not your man.
Right.
But you like the way that you carry yourself. So carry yourself in respect. And once you learn how to carry yourself with respect, it will be easy to respect the other person, your friends, your kids, your partner. Just learn how to respect yourself too. And you will also know if somebody doesn't respect you. You'll be like, I don't need this person. That's a boundary. Respect is part of boundary. Because if somebody doesn't respect you, you don't need that person in your life. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say.
Yeah. You have a valid point on that one. Creating that space is always good. Especially if you have a problem or you feel like you need to address the situation. You open up that space. How? Okay, how? Baby, do you have some time to talk about this? I want something I want to talk to you about in a serious manner. And I want us to discuss it, just shine some light on it, because X, Y, and Z, right? And it's up to them to say, yeah, I got the time. Let's talk about it right now. Boom, boom, boom. Talk about it, and you express what that is, but you make sure that you're controlling your emotions too, right? You want to be very articulate about how you open the box.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to start off calm and then just start letting your emotions tap into certain things within how you're presenting it or how you're discussing the issue.
Yeah.
I think that's very important for a lot of reasons. And it'd be like,
I want to ask you one more question. Right. What would you say in what type of strategies would you give to someone who needs to manage their emotions?
Okay. One of them is meditating.
Oh yeah, of course. But in the midst of, let me say you didn't meditate or anything like that, and something just happens and you just start to go crazy and you're about to blow out and stuff.
Take a breather. Sometimes it takes a moment for you to kind of hold your tongue.
Yeah.
And every man wants to have the ability and the control to hold your tongue. You don't always need to open your mouth about every single thing either.
Yeah.
But this is where it shows what type of power you hold. If you can maintain withholding your tongue or not reacting to certain things, and you can choose to respond, and that means maybe I shouldn't say nothing right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I should take a big inhale. Hold it for a minute, let it go, and just recap. Just recap in your mind.
What would you say to the man who put their hands?
I don't have advice for men who put hands on women. There is no advice. If you don't have morals about yourself on not doing that, period, and you just do it because you are already reacting in your emotions, man, what can I say to you? There's nothing I can say to you.
But beat you up.
Yeah, in order to fight you, at this point, you don't have any respect for. You could beat a kid up. You could be beating my daughter up or something like that.
Right.
You don't got no respect for the essence of a woman's body. If she just cock diesel and you try to beat her up and shit like that, then that's a whole nother story. I can't really say nothing about that. But we're talking about a woman, a feminine woman, and you are taking your masculine bulky self with the strength that you have to you're going to win. That's not a, and if I had to be in the mindset of a type of person like that, like, I know I'm going to win the fight. Once I hit you, it's over. That's why we bank on, when we get into a fight with a guy, we bank on that one hit knocking your ass out. That's what we bank on. If that guy just ends up having hands and you get caught with one, just make sure you don't get knocked out. Make sure you can hold your ground. But then this is a whole other conversation on another day. But more of the story is that you're either gonna get challenged or you're gonna be the one that wins the whole challenge with the masculine, another male.
Right.
But with a woman, it's like you're literally trying to. What is the energy that comes with that? Like, if I just smack a woman, the energy is like, you gonna do. It's control.
Your mom beating you up or your dad beating you up.
It's control at that point, because I whooped my dogs at some point, and it was because of control. It's like, you don't do that, and that was control. Like, if I had to put a label on it, it's control. Like, why would you smack a woman or hit a woman or kick a woman?
Beat your dogs up, they coming for you.
You know what I'm saying? All the people that's like, yeah. I used to discipline my dogs. Like, you know what I'm saying? And at some point in time, I was like, there's no need to do this, right? Mm-hmm. But I had to become a little bit more wiser on how to articulate what I was seeking from them, you know? And with that being said, like, when it comes to a woman, I just feel like it's control. If a man hits a woman, he's trying to have control over him. Whatever he says goes. And it's like, what world are you living in?
Right. Yeah.
You don't say that shit to your boss. You ain't walking in. You ain't walking in no company talking about some, yo, you owe me this amount of money, you gonna give me this. Like, don't try bringing that shit to another woman. Don't do that. But I think I answered your question.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, there's nothing to say to people like that.
Yeah, there is. You're right. Moving on to the second point. Here we go.
All right, creating a safe space for vulnerability.
I would say, like,
you go.
Creating an environment with both partners to feel safe in expressing their thoughts and emotions.
I would say that safe place is a lot of pillow talk. Right? And what's pillow talk? Yeah. Anyways.
Get out of here.
Pillow talk is like, y'all in the room, y'all in the bed. The bedroom is the pillow talk. You lay there. You can be naked or not. But, there's no... there's no
have a pillow talk this morning, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, where you share thoughts of improvement, ideas of self-worth, goals, whatever comes to mind. It's supposed to be an open space.
Yeah.
Your wife is not necessarily your therapist, but at the same time, your husband and wife or girlfriend and boyfriend, if you are sharing stuff like that and they're the type of person that you feel that you can be vulnerable with, that's the space. That's another space I would say, creating that space of vulnerability is at. Because it's a comfort area. It's where you're at your most vulnerable. When I say vulnerable, I mean like in a sense of you get naked in that space, your close belongings are in that space, and it's not open to the public. Right? Like, how vulnerable can you get of a space, right? You can create other spaces outside of that, like, vulnerable spaces could be going for a walk. Right? There's a one-on-one conversation, is a engagement action happening, of and if you're doing it in nature, it's another aspect. So you walking, looking at the trees, and something that the chemistry does in your brain when you immerse yourself in nature and walking and talking.
I think that's how we also had opened our first business.
Yes,
which was a convenient lodge.
Convenient lodge, it was.
Yeah,
yes,
it was. That's how we did it.
walking and talking.
Yes,
In the
and we
forest.
had a lot of ideas that we put together regarding that, and it came to life after that. We were like, yeah, we're doing it, we're doing it. Oh, yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 miles. We walked for 3 miles or 2 miles.
Something like that.
In nature.
Yeah, something like that. How do you think, what do you think vulnerable spaces are?
I think you're right. I also think like walking and working out together and just like having some time to sit down and just do nothing and just talk. That's also like part of you getting to know each other, and you having more time or great communication opens up to a great and safe space for your emotions and your thoughts with you and your partner. But if there's no communication, you can't have a pillow talk. What are you going to talk about? Because you don't even have nothing to talk about, right? But if you'll have conversations more and you'll do things more and you're building more financially, family, what else?
Physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Exactly.
Health-wise, health journey.
I feel like
business,
there's more
skills.
to talk about. Yes, there's more to talk about than just like being over here and that's it, you know.
To chime in on that, you also, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta be aware of your partner in the sense of if they have good communication skills. I can almost hear on the other side of the camera of someone who has a relationship with someone and they their partner does not have good communication skills, and it's very difficult to talk to them, and you don't have the necessary skills to teach them how to communicate, right? Is that a part where someone can label the relationship unsuccessful? No, it can be successful depending on the individuals. Now, in saying that, it takes willpower to do this stuff. It takes willpower to read books on communication, on the power of leadership, on how to create good, everlasting relationships, how to manage relationships. You have to read stuff and you have to listen to stuff and you have to be exposed to other people's perspectives on how they manage. Here's a good person, guys. Kevin Hart. I admire Kevin Hart in the sense of having work and home and friendship balance and management. That is one thing that we all can come to an agreement with when it comes to Kevin Hart being able to manage his friendships and incorporate a business in order to still have quality time with his friends, right? And he has the podcast, what they do and things like that. And then he also does the workout now at the gyms. He's in the gym with his friends every damn day. But they all are reaching a certain goal. So like that management of outside of building a better version of myself and maintaining these passive incomes, this is where I spend my quality times with my friends. After I'm done with these, the rest of my time, or before then, my time is with my family, right? So I'm already self-developing myself over here and managing that with my friends, and then I go home and then I have extra energy,
right?
To now I've done me and did it with my friends. Oh, excuse me, guys. I've done me and did it with my friends while doing me. You know what I'm saying? I've developed myself and got myself, beat myself from yesterday, right? I'm better than who I was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I did it on the journey with my friends. And now I go home and give the best version of myself to my family. So he has a really good dynamic. Another person is Tony Robinson. Tony Robinson is a very well managed person when it comes to clients, business, family. And those are things that I aspire to be and inspired to continually perform now.
Yeah.
Because in so many ways, man, like if we're not doing that stuff and we don't aspire and we have relationships that have good communication and things like that, how do we build if there's resistance? Very hard to do so.
Yeah. And I would also say, like, in a way of building trust, like build trust with your partner. Build trust in a way of like, so they could be, some people won't be open to communicate with you if you are not willing to communicate. If you communicate and open up more, it's easy for them to communicate with you. And if you share your thoughts more, because that's how I became communicative with you, even though I came to the table and said, what I want is for us to have communication, to be open with each other and stuff like that. Because I didn't have that in my relationships, past relationships. So I wasn't as open, but he was. He was just like an open book. He would talk to me about anything and everything, and that made me also be open to like, okay, I'm good if I share over here, because he built the trust of like, I'm gonna be an open book. I know how to communicate, so I'm gonna do this with you, and I'm gonna be great at it. So I'm gonna be okay with sharing everything and anything. And he started like that, and now I'm also an open book, I believe. So at first it wasn't easy because I wasn't I didn't know what to do when it comes to like communication. And if he was the same person that I was at that time, there wasn't going to be no communication in between us, no great communication, because I was not going to be an open book and he was not going to be an open book. I feel like having great communication as one partner, you can also open up to your partner and be an open book, so that they feel trust. They can trust you and they can open up to you, right? Because I don't talk like this with just anyone, you know. When I'm in certain environments, I can talk, but I'm not open as I'm open when I'm with my partner.
What were areas of communication that you felt like I needed improvement in the beginning?
I would say none.
Really?
Yeah. I think like you were just like out there. You were just out there. And you were like, you said you wanted communication. This is the communication I'm going to give to you. Yeah, you were just like open.
I think that's because of the journey that I was already on too.
Yeah.
And with being a hip hop dancer and performing on stage in front of people and things like that, and be on the mic talking and teaching classes and stuff like that, that helped. That helped tremendously. There was like moments where it was like, oh my God, I gotta talk to all these people right now. One time we had like 50 adults. We went to, I don't know if it was Dallas or Tennessee. I'm not sure. It was Dallas or Tennessee. But we went out there and we had about 50 adults in a little, like, in a space. And we had to like control these adults. We had to, because adults do this thing where they like, hey, do this thing. It's like, hey, do this. And you gotta like, you have to have a certain confidence and persona in the projectile of your voice to get them to do the thing that you're asking them to do. You know? Especially if they're like, they didn't pay for the class. It was an event and we already got paid prior to coming in.
Right.
So like, this is what we're doing and y'all are in here and this is what you're going to do. So we had to understand how to harness that power to talk to them. So on that note,
well, I feel like we have covered everything that we wanted to talk about. Do you have anything else to say?
Oh, is that all the stuff in there?
Yeah.
Well, until next time, guys, we've done everything that we said. On that note, cheers. And as always, peace, blessings, prosperity, and success of abundance
Yay.
on your journey in life. And we will see you next time. Definitely smash the like button on this so you can shoot us into the algorithm. Gently smash the like button.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, definitely subscribe.
Also, I want to say this.
Wait. Okay. When you gently smash the like button, what you do is you shoot us into the algorithm for people who need these conversations and want to be exposed to it.
Yeah.
Also, too, we definitely recommend that you give us a point of view on your thoughts in the comments. Tell us and share. Share, ask questions.
Video.
It also could be on the next video too when you engage like this. So subscribe and
I wanted to tell you guys that from now on we're going to be posting every week. So make sure that you are
ready,
tuning in and ready for our next video and our lovely shorts that we do.
Those are pretty much every day.
Every day, yeah. Pretty much every day. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
that's all I wanted to say. And we love you guys. We're gonna leave you now. We love y'all and
we
stay
will.
Safe.
Yeah, we also too
grinding.
before we dip out. I was gonna say that it's every Wednesday right now that we've been posting our videos for our long forms, and the 3-minute ones every Wednesday. No, the 3-minute ones.
3-minute is Monday, Friday.
Monday,
it's
Friday.
Monday, Friday. Yeah.
Okay, Monday, Friday for the 3 minutes, and then the long form it's been Wednesday for right now, but it might go to Thursday, depending on the editing and stuff like that too. But we'll be communicative. So every Wednesday, we need to set.
Just say every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. Okay, yeah. So stay tuned. Turn those notifications on, and we catch you on the flip side. Other than that,
peace and love.
Peace and love.
What did you say?
Nothing. We out.
You said we need to set what?
Oh, I ain't gonna share that now.
Gostosa e joga.